Hello, I'm Maria Ressa. Welcome to Rappler's Talk Thursday. In this week's edition, we talk to Democratic Socialist Women of the Philippines Chair, Elizabeth Angciocco. DSWP is a national federation of women's organizations campaigning for women empowerment and sexual and reproductive rights. Angciocco and her group have strongly campaigned for the passage of the Reproductive Health Bill, which has now reached the period of amendments. Angciocco also is one of the groups that responded yesterday to Senator Tito Soto's privileged speech.
Yes.
Your response, Beth, how would you respond
First of all, thank you for having me here.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so happy to be here. Now, in response to Senator Soto, first I would like to say that, of course, I will defend everywhere and anywhere his right to say anything he wants to say. But that doesn't mean that I will, agree with what he's saying. And on the reproductive health bill, I think we differ so much. A lot actually. Well, for one, when he said that the RH bill is actually against and will actually result in more sickness, in more diseases for women, I think that, he has to look at the most recent data. Because we noticed that when he was delivering his speech, he quoted data from the 1970s, 1974, 1975, and in the field of medicine, there has been development, massive development and changes. And therefore, if I were him, because I'm a senator,
yes,
and I have all the facilities and all the people to work with me, for me, I would instruct my people to get the most recent data, because then that will establish the credibility of what he's talking about. Talking about the pills or contraceptives in a way that in a 50-year-old way, I don't think is credible at this point. That's one. Secondly, I would want to say that Senator Soto, while he has the right to say all those things, I think it has to be very clear to him that he is a senator of the Philippines, that he represents all Filipinos, and that he should legislate based on what will be good to the majority of our people. And in this case, over 10 years of surveys of reputable institutions have all said that the Filipinos want one, reproductive health education for young people, two, a family planning program that's, of course, with budget run by government, three, the passage of the reproductive health bill. And interestingly, even Catholics have spoken very strongly about this, because if you look at the data in relation with these surveys, about 81 to 97% of all the respondents were actually Catholics. So what does that say? That says that even Catholics approve and would want to have the reproductive health bill passed. He should listen.
If you were to gauge, again, the speech that he gave, how much of it is fact, how much is fiction?
Oh, I really wouldn't know. But for instance, the data on condoms. No, if you have this overwhelming data saying that condoms are effective in preventing HIV and AIDS, and you have one iota of information that saying that perhaps condom is not as effective, and zooming in on this one data, one information alone, I think is a bit irresponsible. I think that, to be very honest, one has to say that overwhelming data actually say this, but there is one information that counters it. Then one can say that the senator is being true to the information that's available.
Very specifically, yesterday he talked about a foreign conspiracy that actually is pushing an abortion agenda. How did you react to that?
Well, for one, I think that we should be thankful that international organizations are actually helping the Philippines deal with our reproductive health problems. One, if the EU, for instance, or WHO, or IPPF, or who else? What else did he mention? All these international organizations, USAID.
USAID, yes.
All these international organizations have been implementing programs in the country, and it's not only through non-government organizations. They also work with government, and this is very much necessary because of the realities that we see on the ground on reproductive health. We have to be grateful. We have to be thankful. But why didn't the good senator criticize, for instance, international funding on tuberculosis, on malaria? Why only criticize those that go to reproductive health? I think we have to be very objective and say that these programs are needed by the country, and we have to be grateful that these programs are here. Now, on the issue of abortion,
Yes.
no woman would want an abortion. I don't want an abortion. Nobody I work with wants an abortion. But the reality is that, and the good thing about what happened is that perhaps now we can talk about abortion. Since the senator brought it out, perhaps it's time to bring the issue out and really, really discuss it very seriously. It's sad that more than 500,000 abortions actually happen in the country despite the constitutional prohibition. And I would like to go into that. Nobody can legislate abortion in this country, because the Constitution very clearly prohibits it.
Yeah.
How are you going to do it? It's impossible. Impossible. And therefore, what the senator is saying is an impossibility.
So the fact that he talks though about an international conspiracy, is there any, do you see any signs of that? You've worked with international groups for a while.
Well,
Have they
for
pushed you?
reproductive, for one, I would like to say that earlier I heard him say that my group, the DSWP, is internationally funded to promote reproductive health. I would like to correct him and say that I'm sorry, Senator Soto, but we have not received any funding in the last 5 years or so in relation with reproductive health. We do what we do because we need to do this. We do what we do because women in communities tell us that this is what they need. And so that's on my part of my organization. But we have to be thankful that there are organizations working in communities addressing directly the needs of women. How can you do abortion when it's illegal? And it's also so unfair because the senator, of course, is a senator. How are we going to defend ourselves against him? He is a senator, but what we can only do is to tell people what we do.
It's clear also when he speaks at the Senate floor that he is free from any kind of lawsuits. He could say anything in a court, in a situation like that. You have been fighting for reproductive health for a long time. How long, Beth?
17 years.
17 years, which is about how long this bill, or in different
this is the
incarnations?
17th year that the bill is being it has been filed.
Has been 17 years.
17 years. The
Why?
first bill was actually on population and development, and it was first filed by the mother of Nereus Acosta, former Representative Socorro Acosta, and from then it has evolved. It used to be population and development, but then again, it because of the participation of NGOs and women's organizations, we wanted a bill that's rights-based. We wanted a bill that's pro-poor, and so it has evolved into its present form, which is the reproductive health bill. In the last 17 years, this is the first time ever that the bill has moved to the period of amendments.
So this is actually, and a lot of the proponents of the bill feel that they can get it passed in both the Senate and the House.
We feel that we can get it because in terms of the numbers, we have the numbers.
Both sides are claiming they have the numbers.
Exactly. And if both sides are claiming, what best to settle it by the vote. Have the vote. Have the vote. Actually, the CBCP, I was interviewed earlier,
Yes.
and I was told that the CBCP said that they have the numbers in the House of Representatives. And I said, that's good. If they really have the numbers, then let's vote. Because that's the only thing that can settle it. And they should not oppose the call for vote. you know.
I've seen the statistics on this, and globally, again, the statistics have panned out in many ways. Why is it so difficult to pass this in the Philippines?
Two reasons. I always say that there are two reasons. One is because of the Roman Catholic Church hierarchy. I liken this struggle to the previous struggle to pass the Rizal Law. In 56, there was also that struggle wherein the works of Jose Rizal were the bishops wanted to ban the study of the works of Jose Rizal.
Yes.
And it was also Congress, and it was also the people who opposed the bishops, and government won. And that's why we have all these Rizal courses and subjects. The Roman Catholic Church, I think, is also protecting its own interests.
This is the last country, though.
The Philippines is the last bastion of Roman Catholicism in Asia. And I think that, it has...
when you mean last bastion, I mean East Timor is also Catholic. So
yeah, but in the
you mean
Philippines...
in terms of reproductive health?
Even in the terms of reproductive health, in the terms of the clout, the so-called clout, in terms of influencing government, we saw this first when the EDSA People Power revolt happened.
Yes.
The rise of the influence of the Roman Catholic Church. Now, and for us, we're not really fighting the Roman Catholic Church hierarchy. What we're saying is that we respect your religion as we respect all other religions. This is not an issue about religion. This is an issue about, addressing, saving, even saving the lives of women. And this is an issue of social justice. Because it's so unfair that those who are not poor can just go and use, as Senator Soto said, it's not illegal to use contraceptives, and I agree with him on that score. But what about the people who don't have the means to purchase contraceptives? And if you look at the Family Health Survey of the NSO 2011, it actually says that the usage of family planning has gone down.
Yes.
And if you look closely, the biggest shift in terms of use are the women who are young, who are unschooled, and who are very poor. So that is where the need is the greatest. Also, if you look at that survey, it also says that there is a significant shift from the source of family planning commodities. From being publicly sourced, now it is more privately sourced. And since it's privately sourced, then people need to pay for this.
I have the questions are coming in fast and furious, and I'm going to throw some of them at you. From @Pinoy Reporter,
Okay.
just yes or no. Do groups pushing for the RH bill have links with pro-abortion organizations?
Our groups does not.
Okay. From @AM Mihar.
My group does not.
Your group does not. People are afraid about abortion. And again, is this something that is in the RH bill?
Yeah.
Is abortion inside this
It's
RH bill?
mentioned in the RH bill, but it says that the RH bill, if passed, won't change the legal status of abortion, which means it will remain to be illegal. Because it's in the Constitution.
Right.
Unless you amend the Constitution, there's nothing that can change it. Secondly, the RH bill says actually that women who suffer from post-abortion complications must be treated humanely. I mean, what's wrong with that?
Yes.
Even a rebel, who was gunned down would be brought to the hospital.
Okay.